right, we are live with our first of our Driven Culture report. So, this is a new show I'm going to be doing every Friday. Our uh, Daily Driven newsletter comes out on Thursdays. And so, this will be an opportunity for us to go over everything that's going on in the on chain automotive space from the past week, have a little conversation about it, and also bring on some guests uh, ideally from people that we're featuring in the newsletter. So if you're not already, please head on over to drivenculture.xyz. You'll see it there at the top of your screen, and subscribe. We're going to start doing a few giveaways here in the near future, one of which I'll be announcing here shortly. But yeah, thanks for joining. Got a few viewers already. Hopefully get a few more here joining on. We are simultaneously streaming to X, to Twitch, Kick, and YouTube. Hopefully I'll be able to see everybody's comments in the chat. So at any point, if you have any questions, please do mention it in the chat. I'd love to get your feedback and to hear what you have to say about what we're doing, what we're putting together with the Driven Culture publication, as well as some of the projects that we're going to be talking about. And then, yeah, of course, we've got the head of Racino, Lorenzo, joining us here in just a little bit. We're going to be doing a cash prize race, showing how this new feature in their game works, where users can basically, wager a little bet when they join the race, and that goes into a pot that then the winner of the race will take home. I'll let Lorenzo get a little bit more into that. I've only done a handful of races myself so far to test it out, and it's pretty cool, but I'm looking forward to hearing from Lorenzo on that. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. So, all right. So yeah, let's just go ahead and jump into Daily Driven number 30. So this is our 30th issue that we've put out. Been putting these out just about every week for quite some time now, and it's really coming together. There's so much to talk about, and it's getting more and more difficult with all the cool things that people are building in this on-chain automotive space to curate the best things to highlight. If at any point you find something cool that you think we should be including in the newsletter, please send it my way. You can, just message me on X or, reply to the email if you're a subscriber. Just wanted to, since this is our first time getting into this, talk a little bit about, thanks for the following, Bad Gal Beach. Like kind of what our objective is with Driven Culture and the Daily Driven newsletter, before I start digging into the actual contents of it. So Driven Labo is my company, and we are an automotive Web3 product development studio. We are focusing on one end on content and media, and then on the other end, we are putting together an RWA platform for the tokenization and fractional ownership of ultra rare investment grade JDM vehicles and other historically significant collector cars. But with Driven Culture, what we really want to do is just have a central place where people can go to stay up to date on all the news of projects that are sort of at that intersection of Web3 and car culture. And there is a surprisingly large amount of people building in this space. I've found that there's a lot of crossover between, our generation that is really into cars, motorsports, drifting, and the like, and also Web3. And I think that this is, as projects like the Motorverse are showing us that there's a big appetite for motorsport Web3 experiences. So rather than, scrolling endlessly through X to see what's new, or to go to each individual Telegram or Discord group to stay up to date, we curate everything into one newsletter that is put out weekly on Thursday mornings, and allows you to really get keep a finger on the pulse of what's going on in the space. So that's my little spiel. Let's go ahead and check out Daily Driven number 30. So we had two really big developments in Driven Labo in the last few weeks, which I'm really, really excited to share with everybody. One of which is that we just brought on an investor and advisor who's going to be helping us in a lot of different ways. And it's this guy you see here on your screen, Connor McGovern, and he is a pro NFL player. He used to play for the Denver Broncos and then spent the last 3 years at the New York Jets. He is currently what is the term for it? A free agent, and is looking at getting on another team. So we wish him luck there. But he is also a huge JDM car enthusiast, and has, I suppose, I'd say dreams, but considering, his lifestyle as an NFL player, I think he can do it. So I'll say he has intentions to become a professional race car driver once his NFL career is over. And he brings with him a ton of connections in the automotive space. He knows, people at various automotive aftermarket brands, and tons of influencers, some pretty big name YouTubers, automotive YouTubers that we're working on leveraging for some partnerships. He also has an insane collection of cars, just a few of them you see here. He has one of my favorite cars of all times, an R34 GTR V-Spec 2 NUR. A lot of different designations there, but just know that that's one of the more rare, higher end GTRs that you can get. That thing's probably easily worth $250,000, as well as this green RWB Porsche. And then he's got a R35 and an R34 track car. I think this isn't even half of his total car collection. So, this guy is serious. And yeah, just looking forward to having him on the team as an advisor, helping us make connections across the automotive enthusiast space, because there are, for as big as the Web3 space is, which is still pretty niche, still relatively small, there are many times as many people in the automotive aftermarket space, and we plan on using this platform to bring them into Web3. And so his connections are really going to help us there. And in addition to that, he has also provided us with our first car that we are going to be tokenizing on the Driven Vehicles RWA platform. And that is this 1999 Ferrari 360 Modena. It is also, what makes it really unique is that it was once part of Paul Walker's personal collection. So along with the car itself, we have all of the documentation showing that it was once owned by Paul Walker, and really makes this car extremely unique. So this was in Connor's collection, and he offered it to the company as part of his investment in coming on board as our initial car that we'll be offering fractional shares of. The way that this is going to work is through our RWA app, the Driven Vehicles app, which is coming in hopefully just a few weeks, the beta version. The holders of our ecosystem token, Buster will be able to get pre-sale access to the fractional shares of this car, which are called RS1. That's our designation for cars that we're holding in our long-term collection for investors to be able to take advantage of the price appreciation over the years. So have a stable investment in a real world asset, as well as to be able to earn, I'll say, dividends on the revenue that we generate around each car. So there's going to be a number of things that we do to monetize the cars in our collection. And by holding RS1 tokens, in this case for this car, which stands for RSpec. So this is RSpec number 1. Next car we get for our long-term collection will be RSpec number 2 or RS2. So by holding RS1 tokens, you'll get exclusive access to a whole bunch of things, including the ability to come and take a ride in the car if you're in the area of where our showroom will be in the future, as well as I'm not going to give up too much details there. There's a lot of fun things that we have in the works on that. But one of the things I will tell you right now is with this car, our plan to sort of bring it in brand with the driven vehicles sort of feel, which is really JDM focused, is that we're going to be doing a JDM inspired cosmetic transformation of this car, and we're going to have the shareholders of the car be able to participate in a lot of the choices we make, from the wheels to the body kit to the wrap and modifications. Now, one of the things that we're going to be considering when we are transforming this car is trying to do it in the least destructive way possible to maintain the value of the car. So nothing too crazy. Anything body kit related is going to be easily be able to take off or put on, not going the full Liberty Walk, wide body on it. But it's going to be, fun to watch these cars transform with the help of the community of owners, and to create a bunch of content around, if you watch things like Throttle or Donut Media, turn these project cars into content as well. So yeah, we're going to be getting our hands on this car in probably, I would say, a week or two. And then we will tokenize it shortly thereafter. And so yeah, if you're interested in becoming a shareholder of this 360 Modena owned by Paul Walker, definitely subscribe to drivenculture.xyz to get all of the updates, or follow Driven Labo, DRVN Labo on X, or follow me, Rex Racer. And one other thing I want to mention too about these cars that we're tokenizing is the tokens are going to be a form of an ERC 404. So if you own a full share of the car, you'll also get a digital twin NFT of the car, which you can use in partner project video games. Won't be, letting slip who those are just yet, but we've got a number of projects that we have gotten approval to work with. So yeah, you'll be able to experience the car that you fractionally own in a variety of game experiences. So fun stuff. So that's the announcements out of the way for Driven Labo. Moving on in the Daily Driven issue 30, we always have a little quick fire of a few things in the news. Call it Suck, Squeeze, Bang, Blow. And the one I want to call your attention to here is the W3GP. They are a Web3 Formula One show and community, and they are headed up by Matt Solomon, or Solly, from the Motorverse and Torque Squad, as well as Puke Rainbows from Rug Radio. And they just recently introduced a proposal through the ApeCoin DAO to get funding to deepen their connections with both ApeCoin as well as ApeCoin, or I should say the professional F1 team that ApeCoin sponsors, which is the BWT Alpine F1 team, or Alpine to say it in the proper accent. And yeah, I mean, so far it's just barely being edged out on the against side. So if you hold any ape, definitely go and cast your vote. I personally, I need to move my ape to a wallet that I can vote, so I'll be voting on this shortly. But I think it would be cool to see them be able to leverage the ApeCoin community and to really build out this Web3 F1 community into something much bigger. I'm all in favor of that. Well, looks like we got some chats coming through. What's up, Mango Ice Stables and Nomad Nin? Excuse me. Thanks for joining. Thanks for the comments as well. Oh, you said my volume is a little low? All right. I'll try to talk a little louder. The volume on my side is maxed. Let me see if I can't up that a little bit. Let me know if that is an improvement. But I will definitely try to speak up. So, yeah, let's head on back. Oh, you know what? Real quick. Let me just check on something. I want to see, because we're going to be joining a race here on Racino soon. Just give me a sec to catch up. Just trying to iron out some things on getting this Racino prize money race going. Trying to settle on which race we're going to join so we can showcase how their game works. So go back to that here in just a sec. All right. Looks like Mango Ice Stables is going to be joining us in the Racino race here in a little bit. What's going on? 4 Clovers. Thanks for joining. I should have a chat that should be popping up in... Oh, it is turned off. All right, let's see if that works now. When we get some chats coming through, they should be showing on screen. All right. Cool, yeah, looks like we have some people joining the Racino cash prize race here in a little bit. So I'll keep an eye on that. Still not sure which one we're going to be entering. As soon as I know, I will go ahead and enter it, and we will get that going. But... let's just quickly move on through the rest of the Daily Driven issue. So, yeah, which race is it? Don't know yet. We'll find out. Let me hop on over here. All right, cool. So, the other thing that we like to do in the excuse me. Ooh. Hold on. Need a drink of water. Whew. Way better. The other thing that we do in the newsletter is we cover all of the different Web3 assets and their performance week to week. So we have here the the fungible tokens from across the automotive Web3 space. Everything from Rev to our friends at DriveCoin. Of course, we've got Alpine in here, and Buster at the top, although you'll see that we are relaunching that soon. We recently released an update about that in the Driven Culture publication, so definitely go and check out what our plans are for relaunching the token and why we're relaunching it in the first place. And of course, we've got our the NFT collections that we are keeping an eye on as well. So if there's anything that you think that we're missing here, both tokens or NFTs that you think we should be tracking week to week in the newsletter, please do let me know. But moving on, one of the biggest bits of news in the on-chain automotive space in the last couple of weeks has been the release of Cosmic Royale from Animoca, Eden Games, and the Motorverse. And while they're not, obviously a hardcore racing game like Torque Drift 2, they are, I'd say, probably one of the smarter plays because they are tapping into the Mario Kart market, which I think is much broader audience. And man, who doesn't love Mario Kart? I actually went and tried this out for the first time in a late night live stream last night. So if you head over to my Twitch, oh, no, now we're seeing my current stream. Yeah. Well, either way, I promise you it's on here. Yeah, here we are. Okay, so yeah. So go check that out. That was a good time. And this was all like my initial reactions. I hadn't played this yet, so this was live. I highly recommend it. It's a lot of fun. And as far as a beta game goes, it is a great start from them. All right, let's check in on the race. All right, so they're saying that people have been favoring the UK and Japan lately. Let's aim for the 12:15. All right. One sec while I confirm this. All right, so real quickly, I will just breeze through the news about the Cosmic Royale. So yeah, you got a quick taste of that. Definitely go check it out. It's a lot of fun. And if you want information about how to play, got that there. You can see their live stream from their launch party, as well as they've got their Zeely sprints where you can earn XP. And of course, that means probably get some sort of in-game assets once the time comes. So also, if you don't mind, use my link here and you'll help hook me up with a little bit of XP as well. So let me go ahead and go ahead and log in. Looks like I was logged out. Let's see if we can go ahead and join that race. And then I will bring up Lorenzo here in just a second. So yeah, it looks like we're going to be doing the 12:15 Japan. That's the 2 ticket. 12:15 Japan. Yeah. All right. This is the one right here. I've only got 1 ticket currently, so I will have to only do ones with a 1 ticket admittance fee. So let's go ahead and join this. What time zone am I? I'm in Pacific time, so on the West Coast, U.S. 12:30. All right, let me make sure I've got that right. 12:30. Oh, this is 12:15. I picked the wrong one. We're going to do Japan, 12:30. It's got to be, there it is, single ticket. All right, there we are. Go ahead and enter that. leave default for now. Enter. Cool. All right. And then race entered. Sweet. We are ready to go. All right. I'm going to go ahead and bring up Lorenzo. Hopefully he's available. And then we will make sure I find the right screen here. Looks like missing his stream. One sec while I get this fixed. Had him up earlier. Figured he'd be able to pop right in. Just gotta remember where that setting was. Bear with me. Where did that go? Where did that go? Just had it earlier. Sorry, bear with me, bear with me. Where was that setting? Of course, now that I'm on the spot, I can't remember what the hell I did earlier. Oh, man. All right, you know what? Let's see. I think I remember. What in the world? All right, we'll get it. We'll get it. All right, we got Mango Ice Stables is in the Japanese race. Sweet. All right. Why can't I bring him in? Please bear with me. One sec. So strange. I had him, we tested earlier and had a similar issue, and then I found the setting, and now the setting has disappeared. almost there. Apologies for this. Let's see. Perhaps he's not joined. Let me see. All right. You know what it may have been? It may have been that he hadn't joined yet. I don't know if I gave him the thumbs up. All right. While we're waiting for him, I'll just finish up what I was talking about on the newsletter. All right. Sorry for that. This is, as I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, this is my first time doing this show, so there's always bound to be some hiccups, and I think we just found one. But yeah, while we're waiting for Lorenzo to join us from Racino, just wanted to touch real quick on a couple of last bits of news from the newsletter. So with the Motorverse, big thing that, oh, where did that go? Yeah, we got their Motorverse driver's license. Says coming soon, but actually I discovered last night after the stream, the Cosmic Royale stream, that I could go and log into the Motorverse website and claim my driver's license. So if you are interested in Motorverse games and experiences, definitely go hop on that. You know, there looks like it's going to unlock some cool features. All right. Oh, thanks, Mango Ice Stables. I was just going to call you Mango for now. Appreciate that. Yeah, doing my best. And then last thing I want to touch on, then I'll hop over and see if Lorenzo's joined us, is Celeros. So this was one of the first streams that I did a few weeks ago, and this game is a hell of a lot of fun. It's kind of like, let's say, Formula One, but flying. And their demo game is available now. This is a super addicting game, and you know, I honestly can't wait for them to roll out the next tracks on this. But they recently partnered with Mon Protocol, which has a huge and active community, and they're going to be sponsoring their TXR challenge. They haven't released any details yet on what is included with that, but I am assuming that they're going to be offering some prizes to people who rank during the TXR challenge time frame. And that's something that I've been trying to do. Currently, I'm in the top 30 on the game, and my goal is to get into the top 10. You know, I'll probably be doing some additional streams over the next week or two, trying to improve my standings on the leaderboards. Go check out my streams on Twitch to find out more about that. And also join the quests as well, and you can earn points towards their TXR token airdrop. So, all right, let's go ahead and see if we've got Lorenzo with us. Fingers crossed. Oh, it's still not there. Oh, looks like he is connected. All right. There he is.
What's up?
All right. Thanks for joining, Lorenzo.
Can you see me? My video, it said it was off, but I think it's on now.
Yep, I can see you and I can hear you.
What's up? I'd like to be here. Thanks a lot for having me.
Yeah, thanks for joining. And yeah, had a few hiccups there trying to bring you on. Still figuring out how to use Streamlabs, but all worked out in the end. So yeah, looks like we have some people signing up for the race that we're running here in just a little bit.
Nice.
Let's see. It looks like it's a qualification stage. What do you recommend for? Oh, yeah, let me go ahead and share my screen so people can see what I'm doing. There we are. All right. So It's in the qualification stage. At this point, would you recommend that I make some adjustments to the car's setup based off of the track conditions?
Yeah, so kind of check out the conditions. I can't see your screen right now, but I'm guessing that you kind of see the view up top with all the weather conditions and then the tires and the tuning potentially.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So
Yep.
you're obviously familiar with motorsports. So yeah, maybe just kind of review the conditions. We usually put some recommendations as well on the tires or the sliders, so it should give you a little bit of insight on what you should potentially select.
Oh, I
The
see.
more that
Okay.
yeah, exactly. The more that you race, the more that you begin to kind of understand your car. So first race, you might not have as much insight compared to racing, a lot in the system.
Mm-hmm.
So this one might be a little, off the fly. So feel free to select some things that you think might work, and then the more that you race, the more data you'll gather.
Okay. Cool. So let's see. Yeah, conditions are cold, breezy, light rain, washed out track, and bumpy. So let's see. If it's light rain, I know there's no inters on this. It's either soft, medium, hard, or wet. So probably
Just got
go.
a message that they can't hear me on stream, so I'm not sure if that's on my end. I know you can.
Okay. Let's see. I'm picking up your audio, so it looks good as far as I can tell.
Okay.
Got you cranked all the way up.
Yeah, if it doesn't work, okay. As long as they can hear you, you're the mastermind behind it.
Okay. Well, yeah, hopefully people can hear all right. Let me just try and turn up some of the other settings, see if that helps.
Cool. Yeah, no, excited to be here. I think I really appreciate putting on all these newsletters and different Twitter posts. I think we'll be doing a drop with you as well with some custom assets, which we're excited to give away. I know we did the helmet and race suit, and then the livery too, which will be incredible. So we're happy to give those away soon.
Yeah, actually, while you mention it, let me go ahead and show that because in the latest newsletter I feature those. So yeah, this is the custom livery that they created for us, and should in the next few days be able to start racing with that. So I'll share that once I get that going. But appreciate you creating that. That's awesome.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think what we're trying to do with a lot of different partners in the space is create different options from the helmets, the suits, the liveries to make sure that people can almost, be identified in their community, having different teams almost, right? Different liveries, different helmets, different suits. I think the goal is just to onboard a bunch of different projects and make sure that everyone can race for their community.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I also saw the one that you did with Sully and the other crew of that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, we have an event with them. We're sponsoring their event on the 28th with W3GP. They're doing like a sim racing event, I believe, in Malaysia. So we'll be sponsoring that. We have kind of like a billboard banner that you can scan and people will be able to enter into the races. And then we're streaming some of the races live at the event in real life. It's going to be exciting.
Nice. And then let's see. Tell me a little bit about the custom suit and helmet that we're going to be giving away.
Yeah. So what happens is in our system, when you create an account, you can create your own avatar, whether you upload a photo or we just create one on the spot for you. But it's pretty much your own identity, right? So instead of having a driver, like in the other games, right, you select one that, just say Max Verstappen as an example. This is more so you. And across all of our different games that we'll be developing and releasing, it's an interoperable avatar. So it's your driver across all of our different games. So the exclusivity behind the helmets and race suits are we do a limited amount, very low supply based on certain communities. And then whoever's a part of that community can claim those assets and apply them to their driver. So we have an Alpine F1 race suit coming out, the McLaren F1 race suit coming out with the helmets as well, kind of as a bundle pack. And then we'll be doing a few more that are in the works right now with some other pretty large IP. So if you can snag those, it's a cool little thing to throw on your driver, and you actually see it in the racing experience once we simulate it.
Mm-hmm. Nice. How did you get those connections with Alpine and McLaren? That's huge.
Kind of just outreach. I think Web3 is such a small little community right now, and there's obviously a lot of people that are in it, but at the same time, it's a very close connected space. Like just getting introduced to you, right? It was so
Mhm.
random, but we're all very interconnected, and I think everyone just wants to be a part of something early on and just
Mhm.
consistently be growing. So I would say it was cold outreach, but at the same time, just some introductions, and then it just flew across their plate, and we just made the deals happen. But Ready Player Me was a pretty big part in that. That's our avatar system.
Mhm.
They have done really mass licenses with, I think, Angry Birds, which is a huge game too. They just released a lot of different ones they're working with, and then Alpine F1. We have a few different cars that we're hopefully going to be dropping soon in other series that we're working on right now, which would be great. So Racino as a whole, as a platform, it's not just an individual game, which some people think. So we have the Formula Series coming out, and then we have a few other ones additionally lined up after that. So hopefully our goal is to launch a new game every 3 months or every quarter.
Nice. Is that going to be similar to the sort of algorithmic race management game, or are they going to be all entirely different experiences?
Yep. So all similar like race management, race engineering games. So setting up your car pre-race and then simulating it. We've noticed that there hasn't really been many games that are developed with this type of strategy. It's either sim racing or management directly when you're actually in the game, selecting tires, pit stopping. So we want to just be innovative and make sure that we can create something different. We
Mhm.
haven't really seen it done. We hired an advisor that created a game called F1 TM. It was one of the first race engineering games back in the day. He created something incredible. He helped us to actually kind of build this and morph it to what he did, but in a different type of version. So we really got some advice. He had like 100,000 plus users over a decade ago. So he saw this. We met him. We reached out, and he helped us to build this, which was great. We actually have a race engineer who's worked for top tier teams like McLaren, Mercedes that helped us to build the algorithm too. So everything that people are playing on is super realistic. So it's not like fake data,
Yeah.
which a lot of these games have. It's 100% realistic data.
Dude, that's so cool. That's so cool. Um,
Yeah, we find it really exciting. Like as you said before, when you were setting up your car, seeing
mhm.
the different race conditions, right? Applying different parts, tuning them, selecting tires. Typically, what a race engineer would do, just consistently simulating and trying to understand how the car works and how you can make it better based on performance.
Yeah, totally. I mean, that I um, come from a background of racing myself, and that's
Nice.
something that a lot of people don't understand. Is it's not just, you know, like getting in and driving the car and trying to put down your best time, but so much about dialing in your suspension, getting your tire pressures correct. You know,
Yep.
it's the amount of variables that go into a successful race is crazy, and so I really like that this really leverages that side of the racing strategy. That's
Right.
that's cool.
Yeah, we found something really intriguing. A lot of individuals in our Discord were actually building spreadsheets around their races and how they were setting up their car and really formulating the data. And I think that's really interesting compared to a lot of the other games where you just play them for fun
Hmm.
and there's nothing on the line. The way that our game works is we have the trial cars, which are free, digital assets, which are the cars that you can purchase. Both cars can enter into paid races. It's considered skill based gaming. So what happens is you go, you review a race, there might be an entry fee for, let's say, $5, which is considered one ticket. And then you enter into that race, and then a prize pool accumulates, as you saw. So let's say there was a race for $100, right?
Hmm.
We pay out those funds in crypto. So the more that individuals race their car, they begin to build this data and start to understand how it works. So it gives them a really good opportunity in these races compared to somebody that's not really playing. So we really advise people to start playing sooner than later because once you actually play, you just accumulate this data and start to understand the game more, and you just have a better advantage. So
Hmm.
super fun stuff.
Yeah, yeah, it'd be nice to see a feature within the UI where you can see all of your data across the various races and kind of compare, you know, the performance based off of the selections that you've made.
Yeah, we actually have a something built out right now, which we'll be releasing soon, which has a full on chart. A lot of the games that we've seen more in like the competitive space have tools that are built within their community,
Hmm.
which is great. Yeah, nothing against it. We're trying to build something in house where you just stick on our platform. A lot of the Web3 games are like external third parties that you have to go to access things like purchasing assets or seeing different data, we want to make sure that everything's in house so no one ever has to leave.
Mm-hmm.
So we built a tool. It should be released in the next few weeks where you can actually understand everything about your car, like everything from A to Z that's in our system,
Mm-hmm.
and based on all your races and your race history. So the more that you race, you'll start to see everything that would happen, just like in real life, right? You're let's say racing in real life. You're a race engineer. You have to understand how your car works. It's going to be exactly the same way trying to understand how it works in our game.
Mm-hmm. Cool. And that actually brings me to something that I saw that maybe you can tell me a little bit more about. The oh, so I noticed this salvage feature here,
Yep.
and it looks like so the cars over time they you kind of pick up damage or get worn out, and so tell me how that works.
Yep. So there's sort of two aspects. So once you race a certain amount of times, there's repairs. So let's say you raced X amount of times, you have to repair certain parts. But once you hit a certain race limit, which each car has, let's just call it 500. Once you have two cars that have raced a limit of 500, you can salvage both of them to then earn a new car. And that car would become a new rarity. So you go from, let's say, common to uncommon, and then you would earn more race limits, more
Mm-hmm.
rewards, deliveries, all these different utilities that are already built into the game from a game design perspective of what you might get by salvaging. So we incentivize the players. Hopefully they race tons of times, right? But once you actually salvage both of your cars, we burn those two, which burns the supply to a lower amount, and then you receive a new car, and then you get all these different utility and rewards that'll just increase engagement, which is
Mm-hmm.
great for us.
Nice. That kind of reminds me of the game Steppen, uh, like that was
Yeah,
really
familiar with
popular last last bull run, I suppose. Um,
it. Yeah,
and yeah, I played that a lot, and it was really interesting. I was more interested in the dynamics of how that worked than anything, and I thought it was really cool that you would upgrade your shoes and then be able to sort of, for lack of a better term, mate them and generate
right.
new ones. So is it a similar dynamic that is at play here?
Yeah, for sure. I think what a lot of games don't really have is that almost like burn mechanism where you decrease the supply. They kind of
Hmm.
just let it go infinite, right? And I think in the digital asset realm, having a proper supply in the game is extremely important. We just don't want there to be tons of assets out there and them to be invaluable. We want to make sure that users actually have, if they own an asset and purchase it, we provide them value to where it actually increases the potential price of that asset. So
Hmm.
I think a lot of games, right? They just release NFTs and they hope that they go to the moon. But once you have 100,000 or X amount out there, what value is there? So we're trying to really make sure that we protect the supply and provide the users that are actually enjoying the game and owning assets in our game, just giving them extreme value.
Hmm. Nice. I like it. Yeah, there's always got to be a lot of attention paid to the economics of a game. Otherwise, it just sort of spins out of control.
Right, for sure, 100%.
Um, cool. So yeah, it looks like we are looking at that race is going to be at 12:30. Tell me about the next step once the I guess um, the qualifying session is done. What comes after that?
Yeah. So we would show you the grid spot, and then once the race, there's a certain countdown that happens. Let's say there's X amount of time until the race, then the race would go live. You can actually get into the race a little bit earlier and wait for it to simulate.
Hmm.
And then once the race is actually up and showing, it's more for entertainment purposes and kind of understanding how your car functions. So you don't actually control the car. Some people hop into
Hmm.
our Discord and say, hey, how can I drive, right? Again, it's all pre-race strategy. So getting into the race, once the race starts, you don't have to watch it. The goal is to watch it to understand it. But once you're in, you don't know who's going to win yet, right? That's the fun of it. So understanding, you see your car, you see a bunch of different individuals on the grid racing, and you kind of just watch and see who's going to win.
Hmm. Cool. So looks like just waiting for quali to commence. That's
Yeah.
generally is that so if this one's set for 12:30. It's I'm speaking in local time. It's 12:06 right now. What is
Yeah.
the time frame?
So once it actually shows that deadline up there, once that actually hits that's when the race is going to start. So once you see that, you can click on it, a few minutes before, wait in that lobby, and then the race will simulate.
Hmm. Okay, cool. Yeah, I've done a handful of races in the using my what do you call it? My trial car in the trial races so far,
Nice.
and yeah, still definitely learning as I go along.
Yeah. Yeah, I
But
think that's a fun part is we wanted to make sure we implement the trial cards because for people to understand the game before they actually really dig deep. So we've noticed a lot of individuals starting in the trial, doing a few races and then moving into the paid entries or the prize money races
mhm.
and getting the hang of it. We think that was a really important piece for us to put in.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's when I saw that that was available. I immediately jumped on and tried it out, and I was like, okay, all right, I get this, and now I might have to go and pick up a car myself.
Yeah. Yes.
um, we got a question from Mango asking the difference or advantage of the one ticket versus two ticket bronze tier races.
Yeah, so the two tickets are overall number one more fun, right? But the more the higher the entries. Let's say you have two tickets, three tickets, hopefully get to four tickets. The payouts will be larger.
Hmm.
But something interesting, what a lot of other games don't do is we pay out a really different type of distribution. It's not like winner takes all or first place or second place takes all. We try and make it so that everybody that races decent gets paid out a certain amount. So it's not like, hey, first place, second place, you win everything. We pay out almost 1 through 10 in certain situations. So hopefully, the higher the grid, let's say there's 20 individuals actually entering, we pay out decently instead of everybody just potentially losing their ass. Excuse my language.
Yeah. All right, that makes sense. So we've got, let's see, the current prize pool on this race that I entered is $40. So I guess that means that we've got, what would that be, 8 people that have joined?
Yeah, and then you can see the entries too. If you go and you click on the race, it should show all the different entries that are
Oh, there we are.
that are within it that have entered. Yep.
Nice. All right. Yeah, we got Four Clover, OG Brett, Liquid Daddy, Turtle Time, 24, Spider Man, Pink Fury, Speedy. Oh, I'm reading
Oh,
their. Am I
Spider
reading
Man.
their car names or is? Oh, I'm reading their car names. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm definitely familiar with those names. We've seen a lot of these individuals on the leaderboards really picking up the pace, so they have a huge
mhm.
advantage compared to a lot of these people that aren't in these races. But I'm familiar with all those names.
Nice. Cool. So yeah, tell me a little bit about how this project came to be. What was the inspiration and how you got the team together to execute it.
Yeah, totally. So a few years ago, the first race that ever happened in Miami for F1 was around the Drive to Survive time when that Netflix series came out.
Hmm.
So once I watched Drive to Survive, and that was kind of like when crypto was, I don't want to say blowing up, but it was definitely a bull run time. We were in a position trying to figure out how we can enter into the Web3 space. We always like going into innovative spaces, being first at things. So we kind of looked at my partner and I and said, hey, what can we build in Web3 that would be intriguing that's not necessarily out yet? So we saw a lot of the horse racing games, the simulations, and we thought, hey, how can we build something around this model, but more so for realistic motorsports and the proper setup of cars. And, we were just strategizing and trying to figure out of how we can enter into Web3. So after going to the Miami race, I said, hey, let's just take a stab at this. Let's go and try and build something similar to where you set up your car pre-race, enter it, and then it simulates, and there's wagering on the line, all
Hmm.
skill-based gaming. So that was kind of the initial start. We built a very raw MVP, had a few team members just trying to build out a product in Unity. So we did that. It was very basic numbers, right? Like certain tires, certain parts, very, very basic numerical data, like a 0 or a 1 or a 2, how these parts specifically work. And we're like, this isn't going to be enough for people to really want to play. So we went full force. We actually self-funded the project, which is pretty rare in Web3.
Yeah.
Took some family and friends to make sure that we supported the individuals around us. But we thought that, hey, how can we build a proper team out of this? So reaching out on LinkedIn, all the best individuals in the space, in any of the business that we do, we always want to make sure we hire the best, right? So we went to anyone that we knew. We didn't spend our time reaching out to anyone that was invaluable. We said, who can we go and bring on that would be unbelievable? We've had very, very minimal turnover. Every single team member on our team has been with us for at least 1 to 2 years, probably at this point, at minimum. We've been building the product for about 2.5 years. So everyone that's on this is just extremely passionate. So anytime we go, we've done interviews. right? We can just vibe with the individual, hop on a call. We notice right away. We don't like to waste time. We think they're a great fit. Boom, we've hired them. And honestly, everyone's been, in my opinion, a great decision so far. So anyone on our team, if you see it, I mean, people are in our Discord, right? They're working on the weekends. They're working Monday through Sunday at sometimes, making sure that the product is unbelievable. That's pretty rare from what we've seen in other businesses. People want to pick up and leave the office at 5. Our individuals are putting in the time and effort because I believe that they believe in the project, but we try and support them as much as possible to make sure that they're in a good position and they really enjoy working at Racino. So, yeah, we've been working on it for about 2.5 years, and it seems like we're just at the point now where we've launched a product, which is pretty impressive in the space. In Web3, it's rare to find a product that doesn't go and like sell NFTs and then say, hey, we'll build a game in 6 months or a year and try to raise money that way.
Yeah.
We really wanted to build the product first, and do it ourselves and show that we have something and not mess around. And then now kind of work out the tweaks and make sure that we have something incredible, and then just bust out games that are extremely fun and exciting for the community and provide them with extreme value. So I think we're in a great position, and we're just going to keep pushing.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it definitely shows, the game seems really polished, really well thought out. And, it's, there's a lot of Web3 games that are, let's just say, in the indie realm that launch and you're like, oh, this is fun.
Right.
But, it's definitely indie. Like this doesn't have that level of indie vibe. It looks solid.
Yeah, we went through so many iterations just from a design perspective of how we want it to look. The difference with our, I would say, platform compared to a lot that are out there, they more so feel like a website. We almost built a website that looks like a game,
Mm-hmm.
right? A lot of these, games out there that are browser based, especially because of the technology with Web3, it wasn't necessarily enhanced, and now it's becoming more mainstream, like Stream and things like that. We more so built a website that literally looks like a game, and when you go into it, you really get ingrained and say, "Hey, this feels like I'm almost playing something that is a game on a website."
Mm-hmm.
So we're looking at a mobile application development of really making sure you have a proper mobile app, and then PC. Right, people can't currently watch on their phone, so we have a new, I guess you could say, feature coming out where it's almost like a file recording where people can actually watch the races like a TV type experience. So it's still a live race technically, but it'll allow for people to watch this on their mobile because Unity and WebGL is just not very functional on mobile devices compared to like a PC or a high stable device.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, once you have like a full featured mobile app, I could definitely see this blowing up a whole lot more since
Yep.
yeah, it's where
Yeah, we've
most
been
games are
working on
played.
that, trying to really understand the capabilities of what we can do and how crypto and Web3 is really going to fit into the mobile application on the app stores and things like that. So it's a lot of research and trying to do it right compared to moving too fast. We're really patient, want to build something great. So I think a lot of these companies rush in or studios rush in to just build a mobile app, but I think it's a little bit more time intensive than something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. So, what is the big picture for Racino? Like, if you could, I guess without releasing any information that you're not prepared to
Yeah,
yet, I'm curious to understand what the big picture is.
totally. So our plan is to build a platform of different types of games, right? So anything that has racing is our plan. So not just motorsports, right? We're looking into how we can expand the current market and how to really showcase different types of fun experiences.
Mm.
So if we can go and showcase things that are interesting to watch, that's kind of what we're evaluating right now. So we just did a really major deal with something called Yellow's Marble Runs or Marbula One.
Mm-hmm.
They're marble racing with physical marbles. They build these tracks in a warehouse. It's insane. I don't even know how they do it. We were very impressed. We've been talking to them for almost a year now, I think. Took some time to really structure how we can work and build a game around what they've already built. So if you look up Yellow's Marble Runs or Marbula One on YouTube, they have 1.4 million subscribers,
Oh wow.
huge community base, huge customer base, and just a great brand. And their community backs them in anything they do. So our plan with them is to build a game that's formulated around this, marble concept and marble racing because it's so fun to watch. There's a lot of games out there that, things run in a straight line or they run in a circle one time and cool, the race is over. We really want to make sure we build experiences that are fun to watch and get people to enjoy watching the race. So formula racing, marble racing. We looked at, again, boat racing, right? Anything that you could think of that has racing that's fun to watch is our goal to implement this platform. So we don't just want to have a few games. Our goal is to build a platform with hundreds of games that people can play and kind of build a garage around. So one day you might want to play a certain game, but then, maybe let's say another hour later, you say, hey, now I want to play GT racing or, motorcycle racing or motocross, whatever it may be. We're trying to formulate the best possible experiences into one platform and make sure that we build the best games for the players.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, there's so many different things you could do with it. It really is endless.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think all data is different, right? From motorcycles to cars to boats, right? There's no data that's one and the same. That's why they're all different series. So all cars work differently. All vehicles work differently. We really are going to build data models specifically around all these games and formulate the data off what happens in real life. I think a lot of games don't really look at things like that. We take the time and effort to not just launch a game. We really want to understand how everything works and then build it into our platform and data model that we've already custom built in house. So
Hmm.
we're really excited about that, and I think a lot of games don't look at it from that perspective.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely agree. One of the things I think that, and I'm sure this is something that you've thought about, but when you were talking about the Marbula One, it reminded me of when I discovered people doing like the Twitch streams and on Discord where it's just a big group of people playing marbles. And
Like Marvel on, I think they call it like Marvels on Stream or something, right?
yeah, exactly. And I thought it was hilarious because it's just so simple and basic, but they'd get, pretty big audience of people participating and watching
Yeah,
it.
huge.
And I see both with with Racino and with Marbula One, that being something that could really integrate well with different communities where they all get together and hang out on a Friday night, let's say, and do a few races, and somebody's sort of like the VJ streaming the thing. Is that
Yeah,
something that you're intending? This is this sort of a is that a medium that was intended from the beginning?
yeah, I think it's very we want to do everything sort of casual, right? We don't want people sitting there and trying to go and spend so much time trying to figure things out, right? As you said, like that car data tool. We really want to build out these games where it's casual and people have fun with it as well. So like the marbles on streams or just the marbles in general, it's such a casual and fun thing to do with your friends or people that you meet online or whatever it is, right? We want people to just really hop in, go and stream. That they own this asset, right? You own this marble. It's simulating in a race. You're watching it. You're having fun. You're getting excited. It's a lot different than going and just playing a game and hopping off after 10 minutes. This is something that we want people really sitting and enjoying and watching and playing with their friends and, getting excited about. So I would say that the more information and fun, liveliness that we can get in the game is
Mm.
really the key to keeping people involved.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I know once we get our community a little bit more built out around the projects that we're developing, I definitely want to make this sort of a regular fixture in our community events. Is
Yeah,
having some Racino races with our community on
totally. Yeah, I definitely want to do some. So what we're doing right now is figuring out our giveaway strategy, right? Like what can we supply to our players or users to really, provide them with utility, but also involve with other projects and helping to grow the Web3 space. So again, projects like yourself, really making sure that we can grow together and help build up the space, doing those helmets, race suits, liveries,
hmm
your brand on the track, whatever we can do to really get eyes on the space, especially with the product that we built, just showcasing it and bringing other individuals is definitely our goal. I think that Web3 is very collaborative, especially the racing space. Anyone that you reach out to, like yourself or myself, or let's just shout out people like the Motorverse, right? Or as you
hmm
said, Solly, just talking to individuals like that and seeing how collaborative they are. A lot of Web2 individuals, I think, are hush hush and try and hide and, and build their own products and be really competitive. I think the only way to grow in Web3 is to work with other projects and kind of do user to user transactions. One user might want to play one game, one might want to play another, but it doesn't mean they're only going to play one. So I think we're kind of in the position to where we just want to collaborate with brands again like yourself and make sure we can help grow the space.
hmm Oh yeah, absolutely. That was one of the things that I really, once I saw it in practice, that made me fall in love with the Web3 space, is how collaborative it is and how much
Mm-hmm.
everybody just wants to help everybody else succeed. Builders particularly helping builders.
Right.
And that was also part of the inspiration for me creating driven culture, because as I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, I think there's a lot of people that have a similar passion in both automotive and Web3, but in order to keep track of all the different projects and all the things going on, you've got to just, scroll through tons of Twitter posts or X posts. You've got to subscribe to so many different Discord communities. And, I saw an opportunity to curate everything that's happening in this space into one niche sort of media outlet. So
Yeah, and I think what's interesting about what you're doing too is you're really focusing on the brands that you know are actually quality. I think there's a lot of people that go and say, "Hey, let me go and get involved with brands that are just going to pay me to do things." You are, posting things about individuals that might not even necessarily known about you, right,
mhm,
or whatever it may be. Top down once they saw it. Like once we saw you, right, we're like, "Oh, amazing! Like let's collaborate. This is great,
yeah,
right?" I think that people go and they just get paid to post things on Web3, and it's just becoming really diluted. And it
mhm,
doesn't it's not like interesting when someone goes and does that. You just know that they're pushing a project because they're getting paid or they're getting tokens or whatever it may be. I think that your quality of content is actually based on you enjoying what you're kind of reviewing or looking at. And it becomes more interesting to watch or read compared to just people getting paid to post something. So I think what
mhm.
you're doing is great.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I think there's definitely a big, let's say, like KOL or influencer problem in the Web3 space, and they'll just shill the well, I'm not going to, disparage any particular person or
Exactly.
anything. But yeah, I mean, on the flip side, I honestly haven't made a single dollar in promoting anybody. I really saw this as an opportunity to provide value first, to build connections both with me and other projects and between projects,
Yep.
connect others. And it's one of those situations I know that eventually, it'll how should I say, it'll come back around and all that effort will be worth it.
Right.
Because, I'm building things as well on my side with my RWA project. And so, if
Mhm.
I can use this as a platform to build connections and connect communities, that means that once, we have something to offer, that, we've got the audience and the support to do so.
Yep. Yeah, no, I agree. I think that we're kind of in the position to where we've spoken to many KOLs. We actually work with a product called Web3 Sense. This individual Jim built an unbelievable product, and you can kind of track to see like what KOLs have like bottage or what KOLs have like large wealth followings and stuff like that. And a lot of that we evaluated that are big in the space don't necessarily have the following that they express that they have.
Yeah.
And it's not a bad thing. I think that anyone just goes and promotes projects, but it's hard when the space is so small and there's only a few really, I would say, KOLs that are providing true value in the space. And the ones that provide true value are just either astronomically priced or don't charge at all. So it's really
Hmm.
hard to find the ones to work with. But I think overall, the key is like, building the proper community. And the greatest thing is focusing on your, 1,000 true fans, like
Hmm.
really getting involved with the people that really appreciate your project. And to be honest, a lot of them almost end up promoting it for you as long as you provide value to them. So I think it's a really interesting space compared to other, Web2 projects. Web3, if someone really enjoys something, they like to push it if you provide them with value, which is always fun.
Hmm. Yeah, definitely agree. All right, looks like we're just under 5 minutes before the game starts, or I should say the
Nice.
race. Anything else you want to share about the project, or anything that people should know if they wanted to try it out or get involved?
Yeah. So going to game.racino.io, probably the easiest way. Signing up, it's free. Claim a free trial car, get into free races, start to kind of understand the game. If you like racing, if you like engineering, if you like data, if you just like even playing racing games, right? It's not extremely complicated. Just kind of hopping in, and I think the skill based gaming aspect of the prize pools are really fun. It's very minimal. Tickets are $5, right? Getting into a race, really watching that simulation and just having a blast versing your friends or versing components around the world. We've noticed a lot of people are really enjoying it. We're going to be pushing out a lot of new features and new bug fixes over the next few weeks. So I think there's going to be a lot more over these next few weeks that are going to be really exciting. And I think if people start to get involved now, they'll start to understand their cars or car to have a higher opportunity to win these races. So the sooner that people hop in, the higher chance that they have to win.
Mm-hmm. And well, I just had a question that escaped my mind. Yeah, so as far as the availability of cars, are you planning on doing another mint soon? What's the plans with that?
Yeah, so right now we're keeping the current supply that we have. We're kind of evaluating what makes the most sense. So we haven't determined, a potential new drop or new supply. But at the same time, we'll probably definitely end up doing it once our user base increases by a lot. But at the same time, we just want to make sure we keep the value of all of our current players that really got involved first, and making sure that they have the, customization aspects. I think in our game, which is fun, compared to like the trial cars. If you just have a trial car, it's very basic, it's gray. But when you actually own a car, you own an asset, you get all these different features or customization aspects that are really fun, like custom liveries or just rare liveries, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or getting into new tiers, which would be releasing in the next few weeks. So bronze, silver, platinum, gold, really getting into those like higher tiers and having higher opportunities to win more funds. There's a lot more that comes with owning an asset compared to not owning an asset. So we'll be releasing more of that in the next few upcoming weeks too.
Yeah, very cool.
I think for the race too, you might be able to enter it or kind of click in sooner than later. So if you click on it, it'll probably say like watch 3D. You can click on it. It might get you into the race sooner than later too.
Cool. Yeah, I just saw that button was available. All right, let's go ahead and jump in and see if it. Yeah, looks like it's loading up right now.
Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can pull up. Doesn't show on my device, but I can probably pull it up on my one right here. Let's check it out. The Twitch stream. Yeah, I can see it. Cool. I guess you probably have like a gaming PC too, right?
I do, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I've been really. Oh yeah, yeah. I could see it being a little bit like GPU intensive because the graphics are quite good.
Yeah. The good thing is too, once you enter into one race, it usually loads a lot faster compared to getting into your first one. But we're in an interesting position trying to make sure that we always have, updated quality performance, enhancements. Just making sure that when people actually join, we can keep on getting the quality. We have technical artists on the team, really making sure these tracks are, custom built in house. So really making sure that they actually load properly and, individuals can be involved quickly on their actual PCs is really important.
Mm-hmm. All right, looks like we're about 30 seconds away. But yeah, I've been really heavily getting into sim racing lately, and I'm going to start doing some content where, because as I said, I have a background in racing, but haven't done a ton of sim racing. So I want to kind of show what it's like to go from a relative newbie to becoming competitive and joining like some of the higher end races.
What kind of sim do you have?
I'll probably see it right here. I'm also starting sort of entry level and then working my way up. Oh, race is starting.
Cool.
All right. Oh.
Wonder how many people are in the race.
Looks like 9 people.
Oh, nice. Gotta get them out in there. Decent. Yeah. Nice.
It looks to be rendering a little bit like washed out, but
yeah, it might too, probably because of the stream.
Yeah, that's possible.
And the good thing is too with the it's probably the weather conditions potentially as well.
Oh, that
can't wait to get your custom.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting my hands on that.
Yeah, and you can always probably click on your car and it might. I think there was one thing if you click on it, it might focus or change the camera angles, so you can swap into like the top. Always cool too.
Yeah.
Wow, a lot of custom liveries in there. A lot of ownable cars, which is fun. Yeah, the trial cars we're looking at potentially changing the colors as well. Instead of just having gray, maybe updating the colors to red or blue, or everyone kind of having just like more of a basic color. The gray was more just a basic enhancement, but I think we can always update them to be a little bit more fun and exciting on these types of tracks.
Yeah, I think that'd be a nice touch. I called my car the Silver Star because I'm like, it's silver. It's great. It's good enough.
Nice. What place are you in?
I am currently in eighth.
Oh man.
It's like everybody chose softs except Turtle Time in ninth is on mediums.
Interesting.
Yeah, everybody else is on softs. I almost went with wet, but figured I'd. Oh,
Yeah, it's
moved up
pretty
to
light rain too. I wonder what the track temperature is. I'm watching on my phone. It's actually cool to see on the phone. Yeah, I can't wait till we can actually get people playing on their mobile device. It's going to be a lot more interesting because a lot of the users are actually on mobile compared to PC, which is great, right? Obviously, the PC will give more of a enhanced visuals, but I think once we get the mobile capabilities down, it's going to be a lot more mainstream and people really hopping in and just playing casually. But it's going to be great. Look, it looks good on the stream though. Usually on stream it's sometimes laggy, but it looks great.
Yeah, my computer can handle quite a bit, so fix it.
Nice.
Checking all the different views.
So, we'll definitely throw some of your branding on the tracks too. What we're going to be doing soon is throwing up, as you can see, the Velace Media Group, one of our partners, and also Racino showcase there. We're in a position to kind of applying different logos and brands, and really showcasing people's brands like yours or other individuals on our community. Kind of showing them around the track. We're looking at doing avatars to showcase on the tracks. Other people's already created avatars, kind of have them in the crowd and showing them in the community. So it'll be fun to see everybody on the track and with their different avatars and customizations and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. That'd be so cool. Oh, race is over. Where am I? 7th place.
Not bad. You were in 8th before, right?
Yeah,
Got one place up.
moved
Not
up
bad.
one. So shows my prize was $2.50. So that's like half of my ticket back, basically.
Yeah, I think that's a fun thing is, a lot, again, as I said before, a lot of these games just go and kind of say, hey, like first place takes all or second place. It's like letting everybody win a little bit is definitely important. We're not trying to necessarily take this money. We want everybody to be a winner, long term. So I think it's a lot more fun that way. If you don't win, it's not always very exciting.
Yeah. Um, as far as monetization goes, do you guys earn on the ticket sales or is it strictly through the mints? How's that work?
Yeah, so kind of both. So ticket sales are, more so slash the race. So we just take a 10% rake of every race just to make sure we can have operating costs. And then, NFT sales are obviously another part of the revenue stream. But just to keep up the company, we just have to make sure it takes something, right?
Oh, absolutely.
And then once the race is done, I'm sure you've seen it before, kind of analyzing the performance history of seeing the spider chart and how you've actually, applied your parts and your tires compared to the winner. We try and showcase, some more value. We're currently slowly integrating AI Adriana, almost like an AI tool for people to be able to understand how their car is actually functioning long term and having some type of communicating aspect in the game. So we're definitely working on that.
Okay. Where would I go to see that data you were saying?
So if you click continue here, I think and then, sorry, it's a little bit slow I'm checking on my phone on your Twitch stream. And then if you go to next up, so if you go to the garage or the races, sorry.
Races. Okay. Race
Yeah,
results.
go to the flag, and it should say race results, and then the race that you entered into may take a second to load. If not, you could click on that, and it'll pop up some performance history.
There we go.
That's specific.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, I didn't see this before when I was trying it out. That's cool.
So once you click on race results, it'll show you all the aspects of how you've actually performed, and then with the car data tool long term of what we're building, it'll really allow you to see the ways that you can set up your car long term and how to make it better during the races.
Nice. Yeah, I could see myself spending a lot of time just geeking out on this.
Yeah, that's the point for sure.
Mhm.
We just want to make sure that everybody, that really understands racing or data or really gets it, we supply them with it. I think a lot of these games, they just allow people to build these third party tools, and those individuals that understand it just have such a big advantage. We just want to make sure to supply everyone with the right information.
Mhm. Is this Adriana? Is it using an LLM to sort of analyze the data and communicate?
Yes, we've kind of built this more so just in our backend, but we're looking at like OpenAI and making sure that we can implement almost like any type of AI generation. We actually built an AI commentary tool with OpenAI that will be releasing soon. Basically, on the races, whenever something happens during a race, if there's a crash, if there's an overtake, if there's weather conditions that are happening during the race, we almost have an AI commentator where we've recorded a voice that we've tested like hundreds of times through a
Mhm.
system called Play HT. And after kind of recording the voice and cloning it, we just simulate the races, track what's happening during the race, and then we almost overlay AI commentary so that people can hear some type of voice instead of just hearing the sound like they would hear in the real race. So we're almost, I'd say, a month out to 2 months out from releasing that, just making sure we work out the kinks and
Yeah,
get it right.
that's a great idea. That's such a cool feature, and it'll make the races, a lot more entertaining in a lot of ways.
Right. Yeah, totally. Yeah, and I think too with just showing the stream as you've done, I think that a lot of people do these Twitter AMAs, but I think really showcasing the product and allowing people to understand it is extremely important. The AMAs are very non-visual, but
Hmm.
showcasing games. I don't know why people don't do streams more often.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think that, you know, I'm trying to do things a little bit differently. I think you've kind of pointed to that. A lot of
Mhm.
the X spaces and everything, they get, you know, let's say a dozen people that,
Yep.
have to kind of give let's say a bit of a pitch, and they've got maybe 10 minutes to go over everything, which is good for finding new projects or getting a sort of a high level overview of something. But yeah, I really want to spend time with founders and project teams and dive into the projects so people get a much better understanding of what they're all about.
It's a lot more quality content. I've been on a lot of AMAs, and I think that the main problem with AMAs is it's almost like hey, here's a question, can somebody answer it? And then it takes 15 minutes, but there's only an hour into the whole thing, right? You can't really focus on
Hmm.
one individual project.
Hmm.
I think really quality content over like quality content, yeah, it's good to have quantity, but at the same time, if there's not real showcasing of the product, especially in the gaming realm, you're not really giving them much value other than just chatting, right? You really need to see something visually, especially in the gaming realm. Anyone that plays games, or a lot of people that are a lot more visual person compared to just being, reading or hearing.
Hmm. For sure. Cool. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to getting my hands on that livery and pull that up again so everybody can see it. And then, of course, we're going to be getting how many of these suit helmet NFT combos would you say?
So I think we'll give a few for sure. I think probably like 3 to 4. So we'll do the helmets
Hmm.
and the race suits, and then we'll first come for probably the community, however you want to handle it,
Hmm.
and then the custom delivery will be dropping to your account and your car, so you can actually showcase it on the track and
Hmm.
drive it around. So it'll be super fun to watch that on the track.
Nice, nice, cool. Yeah, we plan on doing a giveaway for the race suits and helmets. So
Cool.
if anybody who's watching right now, if you haven't already, please go head over to Driven Culture. It's drvnculture.xyz and subscribe. That's going to be the main way to join our giveaways and contests is to be a subscriber to the publication. And we'll be releasing more information about that giveaway next week. We've got a bunch of other giveaways and partnerships and stuff in the works. So, yeah, lots to come.
Love it.
Nice.
Yeah, we're excited. Really appreciate you having us.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for being here. Anything else you want to close off with before we call it a day here?
No, it makes sense. Yeah, everyone just go check out game.racino.io. We're going to be releasing a lot of stuff over the next few weeks. It's going to be extremely exciting. We have some huge announcements over the next few weeks too that are really big in the racing space. So we'll be keeping you guys updated on our Twitter and our Discord.
All right. Awesome. Yeah, everybody go check out Racino. Awesome game. And good job. I'm Digging
Appreciate it.
it. All right.
Keep up the good work. Really appreciate you throwing us everywhere. We're gonna
Yeah,
keep pushing you.
of course, of course.
Thanks, buddy.
All right, man. I'll talk
Appreciate
to you
it.
later.
See you, buddy.
Bye. All right. Well, oh, let's go back to, let's set up the screen. All right. Well, yeah, that'll about do it for my first episode of Driven Culture Report. Overall, I actually think it went really well. And man, what a great first guest to have. That game looks amazing. A lot of fun. I'm looking forward to playing it some more in the future and getting to know people in the Racino community. So I'll see you guys on the track. But yeah, please do go follow Driven Culture at drivenculture.xyz. If you're interested in what we're building with our RWA investment platform for rare investment grade collector cars, that's at Driven Vehicles, DRVN VHCLS.xyz. More information on that is coming soon. But yeah, I mean, super successful stream, got lots of great feedback. Thank you everybody who joined. And we will see you next Friday. All right. Cheers.